To a mixing bowl, add 250 grams of water, 75 grams of active starter, 360 grams of bread flour, and 7 grams of salt. Mix the dough for about 5 minutes, using your hands to incorporate all the flour, then continuing to knead the dough until time is up. The dough should still be shaggy, but everything should be thoroughly incorporated and gluten development should be instigated. Cover and let the dough rest for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, begin strengthening the dough. Knead the dough for 3 to 5 minutes using any of your favorite techniques. Set a timer and continue working the dough until time is up, then stop. There is no need to develop the dough all the way, as the dough will finish developing through rest time and folds. In this video, I demonstrate bowl folds and bench kneading as methods of kneading the dough, but you could also use slap and folds or Rubaud mixing if you choose. For examples of these other methods, I've provided a link in the description. As you continue working the dough, you'll notice that it changes. The dough will tighten, then become loose and sticky. If you were to continue for more than 5 minutes, you would notice the dough tighten again, becoming smooth and less sticky. Since we are combining the methods of kneading and stretching to develop the dough, this last stage of development is not necessary. After time is up, gather your dough into a ball and let it rest for another 30 minutes. After 30 more minutes of resting, the dough should have formed a complete and clear windowpane. This indicates the dough is perfectly extensible, meaning now we only need to work on elasticity, or strength. Stretch and fold the dough by pulling the dough up as far as it will go without tearing, then by folding it completely over to the other side. Do this at least once in each cardinal direction, or until the dough will stretch no longer. The goal is to stretch the gluten strands completely and evenly throughout the dough, so that they gain strength and hold the dough together more efficiently. Once the dough will no longer stretch, cover it and let it rest for another 30 minutes. Repeat this technique 2 to 3 more times in the same manner, folding the dough up and over in each cardinal direction without tearing until the dough is no longer stretching. You can see on this last set that my dough was not even making 4 solid folds. At this point, the dough is strong enough, and it is time to let it rest for the remainder of bulk fermentation. Let the dough rest and rise until it has doubled in size, 10 to 11 hours at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. After the dough has risen, heavily dust a sheet pan with cornmeal. Divide the dough into 8 pieces, 80 to 85 grams each. Shape each piece into a round. I do this by using a gentle slap and fold technique to gather the dough, then by using my pinkies and the working surface to tighten the outer skin. Take care not to overdo it and tear the dough. Dust each round all over with cornmeal, covering the top, bottom, and sides. Cover the rounds and proof until noticeably puffy, 2 to 4 more hours at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Meanwhile, dice and cook up 1 small onion on the stovetop. I cook mine until very soft but not caramelized, about 5 minutes, but you could go further if you like. Add 1 tablespoon of breadcrumbs and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix to thoroughly combine. Set aside until the dough is finished proofing. To shape the bialy, pick up each round and gently turn in your hands, working from the center to elongate. Avoid pressing down on the edges. Transfer to parchment paper or a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Make a clear indentation in the middle, stretching and pressing on the center to flatten as much as possible. The center needs to be thin enough that it does not puff up in the oven and explode onion everywhere. Take 1 tablespoon of onion filling and add it to the center of each bialy. Sprinkle the tops of each with poppy seeds. This next part is optional, but I like to spray the bialy with a bit of water to help them rise better in my gas oven. Bake at 500 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 18 minutes, with steam for the first 10 minutes. And that's it, sourdough bialy. The full recipe is in the description, and more information and details about this recipe are on my website. Enjoy! Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this recipe, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more.